Hello, welcome to another How Not to Suck at Civ 5 with Professor RJ. It's been a little while since I've done my last lesson, in case anyone else is in the same boat as I am. Just re-familiarizing myself with our situation here, just to get a quick overview. We just set up our new city, Alexuxia, over to our east. We have Shansuxia right here, our burgeoning capital, and our two new recently discovered city-states. We have a small detachment of troops going over there to help with the barbarian problem. With any luck, Cahokia will be super good friends with us. We do know there is a barbarian camp down there. They're pretty far away, so we're not really that worried about them right now. So I am not going to dedicate much stuff, but that's why we do have some military units in the area. And just a little heads up, because I know I haven't used this menu in a while. Remember, F9 brings up demographics. You can look at how we're doing. Again, we've discovered no one else, so all other civs are still hidden. However, you can see we're doing the best out of everyone else on this game on population, crop yield, manufactured good, and GNP. However, we could do better in land. Certainly better. We're at 5th. Soldiers, we're at 2nd, so that's good. You always want to keep in mind you don't want to be the lowest here. Approval 7, that usually means happiness, and literacy we're 2. I still think we can do better, certainly with the better population. So with that, let's jump right back into the lesson. Looks like Shansuxia has finished making a worker, which is good because we're going to need to work on something here. I'll get to that in a couple seconds. We, believe it or not, could still use another workboat because we have fish here. But more pressing in my mind is actually getting another trade route open and ready. And if we take a look at trading, you can just click this area right here. We only have a certain number of trade routes available. Thanks to our new city, we have different ones. And what I'm actually thinking right now is I'd like to get, I guess, we really want to focus on money because money's been such an issue. I'd like to build another, a different style of trading vessel, a caravan. I'm thinking caravan only because it seems a little safer, because we don't have the waters as well patrolled as maybe the land. If I have a caravan here, which goes over land, I can probably get true trade routes going to our city-state just to the north of us. They're suggesting stupid things. As I've said before, I'm really not that into wonders. One thing I know that we really want to work more on, though, is library. As much as I'd like to get more money, a library is going to help us with science. We are kind of falling behind. This is one of those things where you have to kind of take, as a whole, where you want your civ to go. And right now I have kind of a choice. I can be better at money. I can try being better at science. Both of them have their advantages. Science is great for helping with tech tree stuff. The better we're doing with tech, the more likely we're to get better buildings and structures that will help make our civilization good. Also help us build towards a science victory. With money, however, money's pretty cool because it has this great amount of flexibility. It allows you to, you can go in your cities, you can purchase units, which is awesome. And if we ever discovered another civ, it gives us an ability to trade with them, and that trading can help us a lot. Also with Cape Town, you can just give them gifts to get more little diplomacy points. I keep forgetting what that's called. But you can get more of that with them, which is, I think it's called influence actually. Yeah, so you can get you can use money for that. Money's pretty great. However, it's pretty far into the game, to be honest, to not have a library. The reason libraries are great is right there. It says 1 science for 2 citizens in the city. We have a good sized population. So I think focusing on a library first might be the best thing. We are running a good budget. I mean, we could definitely get this to be higher. If we get that library done, that's really key. Just taking a quick look at my citizen management. I always like seeing how it might change, how many turns it's going to take. I'd also like to see how quickly, if I focus on food, how quickly it might take me to have another citizen. Gold focus, how that might change this. But for now, I'm going to keep it on default. Always remember to keep looking at that. The different options can really help you tailor turn to turn what you want to do. And if you're playing multiplayer, min-maxing this is probably the last thing you want to do on a turn because it takes a long time. If you're doing a first player game, it's understandable. It's a little tedious. On higher difficulties, you have to do it, otherwise you will lose because the AI will cheat. So we have that. So we got Sean Suxia all set. As we know, Alex Suxia is working on this. We have our little detachment over here. I'm pretty sure I wanted to move. Move them there. I'm gonna move my units in to attack that. I have to be careful. One reason is this tile right here is called marsh. It's notoriously bad to put units in because it actually gives them like a penalty to their defense. So I kind of want to avoid it. These guys can't shoot me. If they get closer, my scouts can take them out. Cahokia's likely to kill them too if they move in. So that's something to keep in mind. Also, further out, I'm also going to be wanting to think about maybe a third city because I'm really thinking this area right here might be good. One reason I'm looking at that is, and I want to show you another tool here. Down here, I think I showed you briefly before. Strategic view. You can see that's Sean Suxia. That's Alex Suxia. Right here, though, we can see the tiles in an overhead view. The reason this is helpful is because when planning where to put a city, you go from the hex you have that you want to put a city on, and then you count 3 out. 1, 2, 3, and then that will show me how far the city can eventually own tiles. That's after it grows to its maximum potential. If you look here, I hit buy tile, you'll see all these various tiles I can buy. However, you see they only go out a certain amount of distance. They don't go much further than this, and then the 3 I've already mentioned. You can buy them if there's certain resources you really want, or if you're contesting it with a neighboring area. Let's say, for instance, Alex Suxia here was an enemy city, and they wanted that deer. I could run in and buy that tile right there and get the deer before they did. I rarely do that because especially on a map we have no people contesting us for our for our stuff, so I'm not really that worried about it. But it is something to keep in mind. That being said, I was thinking about this because we have the gems, the deer, the fish. We have a little stone here we can get to if I put it there. 1, 2, 3. So this would be a nice area to have. I still want to explore more. And where you put your cities as you go on does certainly matter. You don't want to just throw it like in a crappy location. And the reason for that is, and I don't think I mentioned it, is right here. You see how there's always a fraction of a number, 122 over 185. Now, as you see, each city you own will increase social policy costs by 10%. And that continues to go up. So it becomes harder and harder to get social policies. And social policies are super important. You don't want to scale that back. It's also going to affect happiness. The more people you have generated, as you see, 6 generated from number of cities, that number goes up the more cities you have. And the higher the population I have, the higher the unhappiness as well. So you have to do more to deal with unhappiness. That's one of the reasons why I settled them near truffles right here, because that's a resource that I can use for happiness. So I wanted them to be able to account for the unhappiness they're going to end up incurring. So that's always something you want to think about while you're doing this expansion. Just like I mentioned, these gems, that gives happiness. So that's why I'm like, if I'm going to expand, I got to make sure I get a different kind of luxury item. If you look over here, I get +4 happiness from crab. That little icon is crab. When I get truffles, I'm going to get +4 from the truffles. But here you'll see I have 1, 2, 3 crab. So the logic would be like, well, shouldn't I be getting, 3 times that bonus? And the answer is no. I only have, you only get the bonus once from any one type of luxury resource. The rest, though, I can trade with other civs, not city-states, but civs. So that's something I'm really going to have to, I want to export this. I mean, I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, eventually 4. That means I can export 3 of these and trade for something else that will make my people happy. We'll get to that if we ever discover people. But we've been chatting for a while. Let's continue with what we're doing. Pretty sure I can... I'll leave him there. I'll have him heal, actually. Yes, we have a new worker. A new worker. And with a new worker comes new responsibilities. The main reason I want to get this worker going is because I want to start building roads. Roads between cities is really important. It helps your whole gold situation. We will get into that eventually when we start building roads, probably next turn. I'm pretty sure I have the road technology. If not, that was really, really stupid of me. Oh my god. Good news, guys. We were discovered. Not sure how we were discovered, but we were. We'll have to find that out on the map. When you're playing first player, you'll get this weird CGI looking view. When you do it in multiplayer, you're gonna have like a flat non-moving image. So just be prepared for that if you're starting on land. This is great. He's just saying, hey, what's up? That's a pretty generic thing they usually say. Look at that. Right there. You can declare war if you really want to. Right off the bat, it's kind of a weird thing to do. You can demand if you're getting upset with them or you want to try pulling some shit with them. You can discuss things diplomatically with maybe denouncing other civs. You can become friends, which is useful for moving gold around between each other and help fostering relationships. Again, this is all based on how you want to play your game. But what I'm most interested in, we were just talking about crab, and Pocatello showed up at the right time. When you hit trade, you'll see this little area here. On the left is everything that the player you're talking to has, and on the right is everything you have to trade. We need okay. I was gonna try getting an embassy going. Yep, there it is. Embassy. But they do not have writing. And because of that, we can't trade embassies. But, worse things could happen. They don't seem to have a lot in the way of luxury resources. Something you can do sometimes is throw your luxury resource and say, hey, what will you give me for this? And they'll say, any deal you suggest not result in an unfair exchange for you. And that's them being like, I don't have enough to give you something that would be worth this. But that's okay. We have a long way to go with this, and this is just starting. I just wanted to show you how some of the menus work. Most people are not going to throw stuff at you immediately. So we were discovered between turns, and I believe, there it is, right there, the Shoshone Pathfinder. Okay, so they found us. All you have to do to discover other civs is have 1 unit from one civ meet 1 unit from another civ. This guy, he probably saw this dude. The Pathfinders are like the Shoshone's scouts. They're really nasty though, like they're really good, because they can choose what benefit they get from ruins, whereas most people just have to hope for the best. That guy shot the Shoshone. That kind of sucks. I'm gonna be moving my guys up regardless. Cahokia. I'm gonna have my scout continue to heal. He does need a little health. I do have a boat. I think that is healing here. Am I correct? You can wake them up from doing what they're doing just to check. See, he can still heal here. That's awesome. Well, that's great. We have to hope that they're gonna get this little button up here, upper right, diplomacy. This will show you everyone you know. As you can see, Cape Town, Cahokia, Pocatello. This will also show you relative score. Score is a weird thing. It usually means how well your civ's doing, but it doesn't necessarily mean someone with a lower score can really be dominating the game. But it's good just to kind of poke your head in there, see what they're doing. The second this guy gets any sort of an embassy going on, oh, is it us? No, they do not have technology to establish it. Okay. So once I get writing, we're going to want to do that. I'm going to periodically want to check in on how he's doing. He might later have a luxury resource I want to trade from. Also interesting is we know he came from this way. What that means is that there might be a kind of land bridge here or here connecting to another continent. So we're going to want to keep that in mind. So a lot of our fruitful exploration is going to be probably in this direction. We have a research coming up here. Let's see. I could focus on optics just because it allows this very important thing. It allows land units to embark and cross water tiles. All units which enter friendly territory gain this ability. So I'm going to work on that, just see if I can do some little island hopping. Or actually, that's not nearly as important right now as getting masonry done, because I really want to get lumber mills. We have a lot of trees. Lumber mills are improvements you can build on forested tiles, and they give you an additional hammer. I don't want to cut all these down because tundra is really not that great, but a lumber mill might be more useful, and we have a lot of lumber opportunities here as well, so that's something I'm going to work on next. Alright, so we got a spearman here. I think he just was healing up there, nothing too crazy. I have this Atalatist hanging out here. I kind of want to explore a little bit here. I'm going to keep that guy there, though, just for the garrison bonus. Any barbarians coming in just from my blind side here, for some reason they did, I would see them and have time to react turn to turn. That guy, I'm going to continue to have him defend. Next unit is this worker. Right. I had mentioned before, roads. Roads are something you need to connect your cities. It helps build trade, also helps you move units quickly between the two. These two cities are actually a little closer than is normally advisable. So they're 1-2 hexes. Usually you want them 3 hexes, but not everything is going to be perfect in Civ. And that being said, though, I'm starting constructing a road. So this costs 1 gold per turn to maintain. So initially what's going to happen is as I build roads, my gold per turn is going to go down a little bit, and that's going to suck. So you kind of want to tear off the band-aid of building a road as quickly as possible. And you also want your road to be as direct a line as possible to each city. This is really going to help me economically, even though it's going to hurt a little bit in the near term. So we have all those guys set up. I don't think I need to change anything there. Let's go to our next turn. Oh, someone else got a Pantheon, and they looks like they went for faith for each gold and silver. So someone out there might have gold and silver. I'd love to trade for that, because gold and silver are 2 separate resources, and they both provide happiness, like a luxury resource. Alexuxia has grown. That's fantastic. Cape Town, our influence is decaying. I think I had mentioned this before, but influence will decay slowly over time. They're going to give you a number there as well. You can change that number through a variety of means. We might want to just do a pledge to protect. That'll put my resting point right about at 5 here, which means if I ever do anything good, it'll go up. It's not important, and sometimes it can burn you in case someone does attack and you don't want to protect. There's really not much I want to do to keep. The only reason I'm really happy Cape Town's an ally is that it's healing my boat. We still have a potential to get attacked from this direction. I really want to build like maybe another boat, or get these guys to build a boat eventually. But knowing that there are new frontiers this way, I'm going to actually get this guy out this turn. I want to explore north. I want to see what's going on. Where did Pocatello come from, you know? So get rid of that. Alright, so, right. So this guy finished his farm. That's good. That's going to help Alexuxia grow a little bit quicker. I'm going to move him here, and he's going to start working on a road. I want to have 1, 2, 3, 4. They'll make a road, and you'll see as they build them. I'll show you what it looks like. Over here we got the military campaign against the barbarians. Those guys are likely to die this turn from Cahokia attacking them, so I don't really got to worry that much. Cahokia might get a little pissy that I'm in their area, which is understandable. Oh my god, we discovered a new civ. Alright. He has a bit of a dramatic backdrop there with the burning city. And in first player, civs have like sort of default kind of AI they go to. You can guess what kind of default AI this guy has. I actually, in my first player, ASCII is one of my favorite players, so it's kind of cool seeing him here. He gets bonuses for pillaging, as you might imagine. Alright, so I'm just going to take a look at what he has with trade. Oh my goodness, he's got assault. But he only has 1, and I have 3 crab. He's probably not going to want to get rid of that salt, but we'll see. We'll see. So right there, so we'll make this deal work. I'm trying to see if I can sweeten the pot enough to make him do that. Well, maybe not yet, but we will see. Let's see if we can do embassies with each other. Perfect. Propose that. I'm going to get out of this right now just to show you something. Right here on my world map, I set up an embassy. So I know where this guy has actually come a really long way to get all the way down here. This guy must be like an auto explorer. That's like a basic warrior who's embarked. So that's really interesting that he's come all the way from, you know, corner of the map and has found me. But now anytime I want, I can just talk to him. I can bug the hell out of him. I'm looking over here. I do want to see, maybe he'll give me something just for crab. This crab is doing nothing for me, so. Sometimes, if you want, you can suggest a couple things. That crab is probably valued at, in a normal game, at about 5 gold piece per turn. We don't have the option of doing that because he has 0. Now, the gold piece per turn thing changes based on speed of the game, so a slower speed game would be less value, and a higher speed game it'd be more gold. But what I'd like to do is maybe just see if I can get some gold. But look at that. A declaration of friendship is needed to trade this item unless this is a peace deal. This isn't a peace deal. This is me trying to get money out of them. We can see about friendship. You have to get out of this, which is kind of one of the more wonky parts about the UI. But you go to discuss and be like, hey, I want to make joint declaration of friendship. We're so far away. Making such a declaration at this point in a relation would be premature. And to be fair, ASCII is kind of right. We haven't done much with each other, so I'll just move on from that. There's really no way for me to get anything nice out of him from this. Maybe if I did a crab and an iron, I might even using iron. Maybe did salt. Would this deal work? Yeah. I wish I could give him something. I could give him 1 gold per turn maybe. See if that makes him want to do it. No, I don't want to give him all my gold, and we're already hurting for money. I'll have to wait again. But now we have options, and maybe when this guy gets some gold per turn, we can start talking. If I establish some good relationships with him over time, that might be great. So we'll see. I got my Atalatus. I'm going to set him up right there. Oh, this is fantastic. We got a new guy. And see, he saw him, of course, because he has that nice sighted bonus, the visibility range. So there you go. There's proof that upgrading even scouts is important. Okay. Here's my Atalatus exploring the eastern extremity of my continent. I say my continent because, I mean, I don't think I have much competition. I mean, I don't know what's out over here, but this portion of the continent, we'll call it a subcontinent, it's pretty much mine. This stuff all looks like it sucks, though, because so much snow. We're looking good. We're going to get the library next turn. Let's see what happens. Alright, there's ASCII moving in. I hope he's not trying to do anything. Ooh, he got writing. This is fantastic. I'm going to accept that. Boom. So he did that between turns. Oh my god, someone got a religion. Eastern Orthodoxy is the default for certain civs. I have a couple guesses who it might be, but we'll find out soon. We've got Masonry, fantastic. Oh, it started with this guy. I'll have him finish. Ooh, there's more. Dun dun dun! There's gonna be barbarians over here. My guy's a little underpowered for this situation, but I just want to poke my head in and see what's going on. Okay, so we finished the library. That is fantastic. We have a couple things we can do now. Now, just so you know, if you do want to do wonders, it's not terrible to do it, but there are benefits and penalties. Each one gives nice things, but again, like I said, they take so long. Most things I build in 2 or 3 turns, and I can probably get 2 or 3 important things out by the time it takes to do one of these. Great library gives you a free tech. A lot of people go for this when you play in multiplayer, something to keep in mind. So if you go for it and someone else gets it before you, you lose everything. That being said, though, one free tech is pretty awesome. It gives you some nice flat bonuses there, you can see. Statue Zeus, I've said, is underpowered and I don't like it. But it's nice if you're bored and have nothing else to build. Stonehenge is pretty great if you're going for faith, which I've kind of wanted to do. Over here, it says that we're going to need a couple more faith to get the Great Prophet to start a religion. Someone probably has to jump on us in a religion, but that's okay. So Stonehenge wouldn't be bad. It also gives you great engineer points. Colossus is one that I like a lot because it gives you an additional trade route. So that's going to give you a flat advantage over everyone else. Stonehenge 5 faith, yeah, that's great. My pyramids kind of give me a little bit of an edge in faith. I've considered doing the Colossus. Also, it looks pretty cool. We still have other things we might want to build. As I said before, we're kind of hurting for boats. Military, I think we're doing all right. I could do another workboat for to put a fish down. I think I did mention I do really want that watermill. It does cost money, but it gives me food and production. I'm really tempted by the Colossus, but I mean, to be fair, I don't even have all my stuff filled out here. I have one of 2, and I'm trying to get another trade route. So it seems a little counterintuitive. Well, oh my god. Hey guys, I forgot to look for the embassy. Look at that. We have another Civ capital right there. They're like our neighbors. They're our closest things we have to a neighbors right now. That's pretty great. Not sure how to progress here. Well, with lack of anything else better to do, I'm going to do a watermill. It's pretty neutral. It's not going to give me any benefits or penalties. We are working on a road. Yeah, that's probably the best bet. Just a straight up watermill for now. Let's see here. We have the new tech tree. What are we going to be doing next, guys? I did say before I really want to get that lumber mill going, so I'm actually going to do this one first. It should be noted, mathematics also opens up a wonder called the Hanging Garden. You get that if you take tradition, which I did. So that's something also to keep in mind for me. Yeah, I want to go construction. I really want to get that there. Lumber mills going. All right, looks like I might have some competition, guys, for the destroyer of the barbarian camp. Worse things have happened. It's not going to be the end of the world. Let's see if I can move there. Okay, he'll let me go. Moving through units is something to keep in mind too. When you're at war, they won't let you move through, but if you have enough movement, they'll usually let you go through, unless there's weird things like a natural wonder. Look at that mountain of silver. That's amazing. All right, so this boat did some exploration for us. I'd like to see our neighbors, but I'd also like to see what may be further north first, because we have a little land bridge. I can guess that this is mostly some kind of an alcove, and these guys are going to be moving that way anyway. Looks like having an Arctic map is going to take its toll soon. If I mouse over, by the way, you can see there is a road, and you actually can see the road a little bit with the graphics, which is kind of cool. Moving my workers there so they continue the road effort. Alright, so far so good. Things are looking alright. I might want to get a workboat. I could even buy one, maybe, soon. Workboats are 170, so... Alright, let's see what happens next. Look at that little globe turn. Alright. So we lost Cape Town officially as an ally. You'll see their bars return to green, and I can't see all their stuff. Cahokia's getting a little pissy, and that I'm on their land, which is something I never understood about the game's AI. These guys are asking for help, which, okay, I get you. You're asking for help. But then when I come over to help, you're all like, you're on my land. That's something I wish they would have fixed, but they never did. Spearmen are going to go in there. I can move my guys out to let the situation there get better. Something to know about tactically what's going on here. We have another guy. He might want to steal that camp from me. And also it looks like there is another border for another city-state. Also, this barbarian brute, looks like he has a worker with him. That means these barbarians captured probably one of Cahokia's workers. It might be nice to capture that. If you capture one and give it back to a city-state, you get a lot of influence with them. So what I'm going to do, at the risk of harming Cahokia, or getting Cahokia more pissed, I'm going to move my guy there. And I'm going to move this guy there. See, can I shoot? Can I shoot far enough? I cannot shoot far enough to hurt him. I'm going to have him fortify in that spot. Maybe I can have the spearmen come down and kind of do a pincer maneuver. Key is to get that camp done, though. So we'll see what happens. Over here, the road warriors. They're working on the road. You can see my money per turn's gone down a little bit, and that's mostly been because of the road. I think I may actually move those guys up, because I know I can't shoot around the big mountain there. Alright, let's keep it simple. Just gonna snipe those guys with my Adelatists. I mean, worst comes to worst, I get culture. I'm not really looking for new camps to destroy, but... Oh, look at this! Right there, you can see it's a settler. If you're playing a more aggressive, it's something to keep in mind that if you see that flag and it's unguarded, try to capture it if you're really playing that kind of a game. It's something that can really help you. This boat might get stranded. I'm actually going to move him back. The reason I say that is because when if he built a city right here, all these tiles around it would be Shoshones. And unless I had a rite of passage, my boat would be stuck on that side. So I'm going to keep there just to make sure I don't get captured. That's always something to keep in mind. You never want to have your naval vessels stranded, as it were. Alright. So, let's see. Let's start next turn to heighten the tension. I think that'll be good enough for today's lesson. Just to tie things up. It looks like we have the game's really heating up, guys, because we met 2 new civs, which is something we've been talking about for a long time, wanting to do that, and this is pretty great. Our fabulous Mayan culture is kind of flourishing. We're doing all right. Compared to everyone else, things are going good. We learned about just basic diplomacy, just how to talk with them. We're going to have to keep learning more and more about that. And we're going to learn a little bit more about those cultures specifically, so you kind of know what you're up against as you play them. We also talked about building order. I think things went pretty well today, guys. You know, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. I am your professor. I'm always here to help. Thank you for watching How Not to Suck Civ 5. I am your professor. Have a fabulous day. And as always, game hard and game well.